What's up, boys? Back again with the shenanigans, with the market shenanigans. I'm gonna do some batch analysis, have some trades here in week 2026. What is this? 5 trades. Well, that's kind of nice. Let's see how I performed. As always, I'm gonna start by going back a few weeks and just seeing what was going on, especially here in my notes. So what went bad a couple of weeks ago was that I traded this. Like, all the momentum here is fizzled, right? And I have already come up with some rules that prevent me from taking entries like this. So that's already being taken care of. And last week, I took a weak reignition trade. Ah, yeah, this one. That makes sense. Yeah, this one is not very nice, is it? Even the pullback itself is nothing spectacular. I mean, yeah, it did liquidate something over here, but it's just, yeah, I don't know. It's not very nice. It would definitely be much nicer if it did something like this, for example, and I would trade there. But here it just looks like a little liquidity grab. And if I ask myself the question, am I too early here? I would say I am. I mean, I would definitely like to see a little bit more of a confirmation before I take this trade. So yeah, that was that. And even then, I was positive last week, plus 2.2R. That's pretty cool. I don't think I have any wins this week, but that's all right. So I focus on filtering out choppy and wiki price action. I actually thought about this a little bit, and up until now, the choppy wiki rule was like one of the last things that I would look at, right? Let me actually lower the volume here a little bit so I can focus better. Okay. Yeah, so regarding choppy wiki price action, I would always like look at all of my rules, and then as the last thing, I would be like, but is it choppy wiki? Well, I thought, why not put this as a priority rule, as one of the first ones, you know? Like, hey, is this market moving in a choppy wiki way? If so, well, just don't look at it, right? It doesn't matter what kind of structures it prints, as long as it's choppy wiki, fuck it, right? Just don't trade it, because most of the time it's gonna be bad. Don't trade V-shaped pullbacks. Yes, this is the most recent refinement or most recent additional filter, I would say. Filtering out all of the V-shaped pullbacks on all time frames, I think is going to do very good for me. It's going to require a lot more patience, of course, but that's okay because I know from analysis and from going back through all of my trades and all the big winners, almost none of them come from V-shaped pullbacks. They all come from strong markets that have shallow pullbacks and flagging pullbacks, rounded pullbacks, whatever. It's never a V-shape. V-shape means that there is a lot of supply in the markets, big sells are dropping on the market, and nobody wants to fight that, right? And let the reignition happen. Don't trade too early. Yeah. If there is like there's two big things in my trading currently that I think need to be taken care of. And that is one, to not trade the choppy wiki stuff. And two, to not be too early, to have that additional confirmation of that reignition. Because sometimes what I would do is I would trade before the ignition was there. I would sort of anticipate it and just trade the anticipated reignition, which is bullshit. I don't want to do that. I want to have that additional piece of confirmation, and once the reignition is there, I'm going to wait for it to reaccumulate, and that's when I'm going to get involved. So those are the current rules. That's what I'm focused on. So without further ado, let's jump into the Notion and see what's up. Go to Monday here and see what I was looking at. So first of all, I was looking at JPN 225. This has been on the watch list for weeks and weeks, maybe even months by now. Like, this is a beautiful, beautiful market that just keeps on delivering, and I don't see a reason why I wouldn't scalp this on the lower time frame. Same goes for NAS. Well, actually right now, NAS is in a situation where it reaccumulated and then had a big reignition over here. There's no stage 1 yet. Like, yes, there could be immediate continuation here, and that's, I guess, why I looked at it. As long as this is a shallow pullback, I would honestly rather see this breakout higher. Yeah, I would. Like, here on the weekly, it looks like a nice little MB. It's all right. It's all right. But if it fails here, that would mean a stage 1 and probably a longer term setting out of this market. US oil has been on my watch list a lot. There has been this huge spike up regarding all that war and whatnot. Who cares about that, really? But there was really good momentum to the long side. Somewhere over here, there were really nice long trades, but then with this huge upper wick, that pretty much invalidated the entire range. But as it started breaking down over here, as demand started failing, that's when I started shorting it. And the shorts have been really nice. So that continues to be on the watch list. And also UJ has been going up a little bit again. But I wasn't completely sure because like the range, it's a big stage one, right? So maybe it makes more sense to wait for a little bit more of a breakout. I have been watching it on the lower time frame and it has been extremely choppy, so I didn't trade that either. I know that there were no trades on UJ. But yeah, these were the things I was watching. Here is the watch list with the time frames that I was watching. So JPN on the 10-minute had a nice impulse, started reaccumulating, has some flippy over here. So if there was some nice reignition through this level, I could follow it. US 100 broke through some kind of level here. Maybe I should have looked at the 10-minute, but I guess here if it broke down and rebuilt itself and reignited higher, yes, I could definitely trade that. Here's UJ. Yeah, I wanted to see a new 10-minute cycle. So I wanted to see this break down, rebuild itself, and reignite. And here is US oil on the 100. Yeah, so this is not reignition just yet. If anything, this kind of looks like a push for redistribution purposes. So here, if it actually reignited higher, that's when I would step to the lower time frame and start watching. So quite a few things look decent. Might be a good week. US oil shorts look good, but I gotta go soon. Hit a -1 on US oil and calling it a day. GG. All right, so I have two trades here. Did I take both of them? I guess so. I guess so. So let's go to this one. That should be here, and yeah, let's analyze it. So the 1000 looks amazing, right? Really strong market. Had a push over here. Let me make this white. Had a push over here, reaccumulated, right? Lows liquidated, definitely. And from there, just started going. Expectation is very bullish. This could easily go to 76, 78K, something like that. The momentum cycle is active. Very nice. Here we are on the 100. There was some kind of stage one over here, and we see big ignition, right? Huge body candle, imbalance, all that stuff. Nice little shallow pullback and continuation. Definitely good. We can see that on the 10-minute here. That's a stage one. Here it breaks out, and this is by no means overextended. This is a perfect area to look for a trade. Here we are on the 1-minute. So some kind of stage two, reaccumulated over here. Beautiful little spring. Awesome. Big impulse from there and a nice flagging pullback. It's not even that deep. I mean, if we go from here to, let's say here, the 50 would be around here. Yes, it dipped below the 50 for a tiny little bit, but had a big reaction and a shallow pullback. And this is, in my opinion, absolutely perfect. I would definitely call this reignition. I don't think I'm too early. The pullback is nice and shallow. Setting up a buy stop here makes all the sense in the world. I love this trade. I don't know what it ends up being. Let's check it out. Okay, so I get tapped in, and over here I reduce risk. Pretty cool. And as it breaks above this high, I go risk-free, and that comes back to a break even after reaching around, what is this, 2.67 R. So yeah, I think this trade was absolutely perfect. Very good. There we go. Yeah. So let me... Oh, I see. That's how it works. Okay, so let's put this here, and let's write here. Perfect. If every trade looked like this is a textbook trade, right? If every trade looked like a textbook trade, I would be very happy. So that was good. Next trade is here on US oil. So let's take a look. US oil on the 1000 looks pretty good, in my opinion. Some kind of stage one here, some kind of choppy. Then it breaks out and starts a momentum cycle. This looks definitely good. This candle looks like reignition of this pullback. Looks very nice. 100-minute, pretty nice stage two. Some wicks over here, but they're lower wicks, indicating demand, so that's all good. And here it starts reaccumulating. Clearly some lows are liquidated. This is nice. Prince of Flippy. Here I was a little bit too early. I think that was actually visible somewhere. Where was this? Yeah, on the watch list screenshot. So I was waiting for this to reignite higher, which it did, and I started to look for a trade. Perfect. So here I am on the 10-minute, clearly a stage 1 over here. I'm just going to mark it up. Yep, and here it breaks out. It's a little bit choppy, that's why I didn't look for a trade over here. This MB is very choppy, but then it breaks out higher and pulls back into the rising 1020. By no means is this overextended. If this is MB1, this would be MB2, so looks very good. And here I am on the 1-minute, solid stage 2, very nice impulse. Looks like somebody pressed the buy button. It's a little bit choppy here in the beginning, but gets clearer as we go higher. And then we liquidate some lows, right? And as we do that, we have reignition. This definitely looks like reignition to me. Breaks some highs and everything, pulls back in a shallow way, and then creates this entry. I think this is very nice. Yeah, I like this trade. This is a good trade. So let's see what I write here. Nothing much. It just taps me in and instantly fucks me up. If there is one thing that I don't like, it's these little wicks at the beginning. But I just thought, well, makes sense because it's part of a stage 1 in the lower part of the reaccumulation. But as it went higher, it seemed like it really wants to go, right? The pullback was really nice, wavy, orderly, nothing erratic. It looked really nice, so I like this trade. Good, good. And that's a -1. So let's mark that up. Okay. And that concludes Monday. So let's go to Tuesday. I didn't fill anything in here, but I do have a trade, which I did not take because I didn't pay attention. That's not good. I should be paying attention. So what am I writing here? Was working out and didn't have an alert set for incoming momentum. Ah, I see. Okay. So let's check it out. It's another US oil trade. The previous trade was happening inside here. Now we are breaking into new highs above this resistance. Looking very good. On the 100 minutes, this looks like a really nice momentum cycle. Nothing more needs to be added. This looks very nice. And here we have the 10-minute. So we had a big impulse that pulled back, created the stage 1, and continued higher, right? Pay attention to this little thing over here. That's a nice MB. And as it moved higher, this is definitely a big impulse. So I am more than happy to look for a reaccumulation. Here it breaks down lower and quite a bit lower. This pullback going from here to here is definitely not a shallow one. So I need to see a stage 1. And the stage 1 happens over here and then it breaks out. And as it breaks out, it creates a shallow pullback over here. And even if I look at the 1 minute here, is it a reaccumulation? Big push, lows liquidated, so yes, it is a reaccumulation. And I would argue that this over here is similar to this over here. It looks a little bit choppy, not gonna lie. It does look a little bit choppy, but I think that's probably just because of the time frame selected here. If I went to a different time frame, like let's say a 5 minute or something. Actually, let me do that real quick. Let me go over here to US oil. And let me check this out. So where was this? If I go to the 10-minute here, when was this taken? So June 23 at 1624. So that's 23 is over here at 1624. So let's replay this. So I guess it's over here, right? Is it? Yes. It's this trade, I think. Yep, I believe that's the trade. So right here. Is that the one? Yeah, it is. Okay, so I'm arguing that if I went to a time frame that isn't as compressed, it's gonna look good. So let's go to a 5 minute and see if that's correct. 4 minute. Okay. Yep, 4 minute looks pretty nice. Maybe even 3 minutes. Okay, 3 minutes. So, flippy, breakout, pullback, and I'm arguing that this is a buy stoppable MB. I mean, yeah. Something about it is a little bit off. I don't know what it is, but no, actually, I think it's good. I think it's good. This looks like a buy stop. It's a little bit wide, maybe. even though it is a shallow pullback, right? I mean, if I measure it over here, yeah, it just went to the 50. Yeah, this is good. This is good. So let's go back to the 10. Just looks a little bit weird on the 10, but I just need to shuffle the time frames a little bit, look at the adjacent time frames to analyze the price action, and I think this is good. So this was a good trade, and I should have taken it. So mistake didn't take, and the reason I didn't take it, let's see what I write here. Okay. Anyway, what happens here, it's a 10-minute E, so I get tapped in, and on this candle, as it closes, I pretty much reduce risk. Over here, as it creates a high, goes sideways a little bit and breaks into a new high, that's when I reduce risk completely, so I'm risk-free. And yeah, good stuff. It goes a little bit higher and returns to break even. So this is definitely a trade I should have taken. So I guess I just need to get a little bit better at setting up my alarms and making sure that I actually hear it. That reminds me, I really wanted to set up the notifications on the TradingView app on my phone so that when I'm in the other room, I have the notifications set, and I can run in here if something like this happens. But even if I have those notifications set up and I don't create an alarm, it doesn't mean anything, right? So need to get better at creating those alarms. But yeah, that was just a break even. Anyway, let's mark it up in the Miro. I think this was really nice. Didn't take, but it was perfect. All right, good stuff. So I think that's it for this day. Yeah, no reflection, no anything. Let's go to Wednesday. No context filled in, but there is a trade here that I did not take. I see. Okay, so let's take a look at it. The reason why I'm noting down the trades that I did not take is that, especially regarding the choppy wiki stuff, I just want to positively reinforce all those things that I said no to, and they were supposed to be said no to. So let's see if this is a trade that was actually bad. So here we are on the 1000 minute on US oil. Looks very good, right? I mean, there's nothing to add. This is an active momentum cycle. That's all I really require from the highest time frame. Here we are on the 100 minute, and already, I mean, yes, I was following over here. I was following over here, but it looked relatively good. The moves were kind of impulsive up until here. But from here, it started to get really, really choppy and moving in a like very back and forth kind of fashion. Let's see what it looks like on the 10 minute. Okay, so here we are on the 10 minute. This is some kind of stage one, and we break out higher and pull back into the rising 1020, right? Okay, so let's see what's going on. Yeah, this is blech, this is fucking ugly. I mean, this is so fucking bad. Like, this is my entry, right? The 1 minute. My 1 minute entries need to have a big, strong stage two that reaccumulates in a nice way, reignites, and pulls back shallowly. This is what it should look like. Not like this. This just looks horrible. Yeah, so it's very, very good that I did not take this trade. Very wiki, very choppy, weak, ugly. Yes, this is terrible. Good stuff that I did not take this. Nice. So let's go over here. Decision. Good that I didn't take. It's very choppy wiki. Good stuff. I didn't even measure max RR or anything. So what do I write here? Didn't take this because the market looks overall very choppy, and I need to learn how to say no to these trades, even though most rules are technically met. So here I would have reduced risk, makes sense, and I would be risk-free after the liquidation of this high over here, okay? And it doesn't go very far, and it goes back to break even. Makes sense. So that was good. That was Wednesday. Thursday, absolutely nothing. Nice. And Friday, I think there is one more trade here or something. One more trade that I did not take, once again on US oil. So let's check it out. Okay, 1000 minute. Yep, still same story. Looks very good. 100 minutes. So we finally got that reset, right? I was looking for some trades over here and whatnot. This momentum cycle finally reaccumulates, and the point of breakdown is somewhere over here. So if price went higher and created a nice orderly pullback, I might look for continuation. So here is the 10-minute, good impulse, quite a big pullback. I don't know, this looks a little bit weird, but it creates a stage 1 over here, right? So it's not a big deal. This is a nice little spring, and we have some nice momentum out of there. Looks like a new momentum cycle is starting. But here, when I look at the 1 minute, so this is the resistance that I wanted to see break, right? So I'm definitely interested to see how the market interacts with this level. And as I said in the previous trade, my entries, they look like this, right? This is horrible. This looks very weak. Technically, it's moving somewhat above the EMAs, but again, in a very choppy, wicky fashion, and I just really, really don't like it. So this is weak, and it's good that I didn't take this. Very good. So let's go over here. Decision, good that I didn't take. It is choppy weak. And what do I write here? Didn't take this as the breakout was rather weak. This isn't something that screams, yes, I'm fucking going. Expecting a break even here. So I would reduce risk on the break of floating supply over here. I would be risk-free a little bit later as it breaks this high, but it comes back to a break even after reaching around 1.71 max RR. Mainly documenting this to remind myself of what I did not take and that it was the right thing to do. Continue positively reinforcing this and demand perfection. Each trade should be textbook. Yeah, this is what I'm trying to achieve, and skipping these trades has been really the right thing to do. And what do I write here? Maybe add a collection of perfect trades into this window and make it a sync block. That way I can check each session what I look for. That sounds like a good idea, I guess. I can look for a couple of trades that look really, really nice and just paste them in here, just so I can see them. Because even though I have it here on top for instructions for the week, I'm not gonna lie, I don't always look at it. I'm really looking at the worksheet for the given day. So yeah, that sounds like a decent idea. I might do that. But there is one thing that I wanted to quickly talk about, and that is regarding expectations from a trade. So I would say, and this is in regards to the choppy wiki stuff, I would differentiate into 3 categories of trades, okay? 1, these are the trades that do not meet rules, okay? Rules are not met, okay? These trades, the expectation is almost always 95 to 99% of the time, the expectation is a -1. The second is that rules are technically met. Rules are met, but choppy. Choppy / wiki. When this happens, the expectation is either a -1 or a break even. Notice that it's already a slightly better result because the rules are technically met compared to the first one, but it's still choppy or wiki. And the third one is just rules met and not choppy wiki, actually very clean. Clean. The expectation here is the expectation of my EV, either a -1, a break even, or a win. Here, I actually have a legit winning chance. So anyway, the reason I'm looking at this is to kind of intellectualize it to myself why the choppy wiki stuff is bad and why I should filter it out. Because best case scenario, when the rules are not met, I have maybe a tiny little chance of a winner or a break even, but most of the time it's going to be -1. If the rules are met, but it's choppy or wiki, it can still be a -1, but most of the time I would expect a break even simply because of the choppiness. Yes, it is generally moving higher, so I might actually get tapped in and the market might move higher. But because it's choppy wicky, which means that it's pulling back quite a lot, the expectation is that it's going to break me even. But if the rules are met and everything is nice and clean, of course I can get my -1s, I can get my break evens, but I can also have a very good chance of getting my winners. And this is very important, right? The winners. So yeah, just filter out the choppy wiki stuff, man. That's the most important stuff here. Anyway, let's remove... Do I have to remove it? No. Okay. I'm just gonna write choppy/wiki. Choppy/wiki. There we go. So let's put this back in here. Okay. I'm just gonna create the next week already. So what went well, what went bad, blah, blah, blah. Let's actually put this to the side for now. Let's put this in here. Okay. So what went well? I was definitely very patient. I followed my rules and didn't refine any new rules, but I did follow them. That's all that matters. What went bad? Actually, oh, one thing, and that is the alarm. Didn't set an alert for incoming momentum. So that's something that I need to be better at. Okay. Send this back and put this little thing over here. All right. And that is it for the week. Let's check out the analysis and the results. So trades taken. I only took two trades, which was a BE and a -1. Both were considered good decisions and perfect trades. So I'm down -0.4. And had I traded perfectly, I would be down -0.6. Because I would take one additional BE. And what am I saying over here? Well, I should probably just tag it, right? Yes, perfect. Okay. So I should see the mistakes here. That's the trade, right? Why can I not see the mistakes here? I'm actually considering creating a new little property and adding the mistakes here, because if I look at the tags here, I have a shitload of tags that I no longer use, and I could use a little bit of a refinement to make it more concise. So I might make a few refinements to my journal, probably right now. Yeah, I don't have anything else to do. So that sounds like a good idea. Okay, and that's gonna be it. So it looks like I have followed my rules perfectly this week, and that's great. I didn't take trades that looked promising but were choppy. I filtered those out. That's exactly what I'm supposed to do. And whenever there was an actual trade that I was supposed to take, I took it. So I'm very happy. This is good. And if I continue trading like this, I think I'm gonna be just fine. So yeah, that's it for this week. Yep, for 28 minutes. That's more than enough. See ya.